corporation makes a pharmaceutical that kills people.
Changes. No YouTube today. I'll stay as long as I can. It ain't gonna happen today. Just get Facebook going. Change the chat right here. I tried. Won't be any YouTube today. I don't know why. I don't know why it doesn't. But like I said, y'all, this is not long term. This is not a long-term proposition. Too much war is too popular. All right, hold on. Make the chat a little bigger. It's gonna be off Facebook today, like we were the other day. Let's see. Peace is not a popular thing. This is not peace isn't popular enough yet. All right, let me just set up. I'm doing this the old way. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Megs and Stacy, Rebecca, Nicole, and Patricia. Tardy to the party. Yes, I am tardy to the party. I was trying to fix something, Patricia. I was trying to get YouTube going. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they like read the titles before I do this stuff and try to figure out. I don't know. I don't think it's a they. I honestly think there's just learning software. If you aren't on the program, they just put you on the list. And that learning software just watches you. And it makes sure they limit how much peace people talk about. I think, Patricia, they limit how much you talk about love. And there are all types of technical challenges and DNS issues and everything going on. I pulled out my old IT thing and I started playing with it for a little while. But there's only so much I can do. And that's not going to happen. So I think I have to make a post. Let me see. Jesse Ventura said something. Take a look at what's called a false flag operation. And before every war, there's generally a false flag. Of course there is. Because people don't like war. Human beings don't like war. We don't like violence. We don't like killing people. You know, but they have to stage a false flag. They got to fool a lot of people into cheering abuse. It's just domestic abuse. That's all it is. They want to beat some kids and blow some people up, and blow up the elderly, and abuse women by blowing them up and burying them under rubble. And they know they can't get you to agree with it if it's in a trailer park. They can't get the masses to go along with it if it's in the ghetto. But damn sure if it's in Yemen, if it's in the Congo, if it's in anywhere overseas, they can get people to go along with it. Good morning. Good morning, Angie. Good morning, Stacy. No, we're not on YouTube today, nobody. Good morning, Carolyn, Susan, Deborah. Great morning. Yes, it is a great morning. Mary, explain to me. I mean, it's a great morning. Every day's a great day. I'm just trying to figure out why violence still exists. I got the gun behind me, twisted barrel. People will jump on and think, oh, this is anti-gun. Nope, not anti-gun. A gun is a tool. It can be used to save lives, to take lives, not an anti-gun thing. This was at what is this? This was at the UN in New York. In New York. This is at the a twisted barrel. But see, that's not for their wars. That's for your war. That's for your war against your neighbor. That's for what you want to do with a gun. They're not anti-gun at all. They are pro-war. But my philosophy is anyway. We can't. If you want to talk about the whole gun thing. When they give up their militaries, then we can talk about poor people not having guns. But as long as government has militaries, poor people better have guns. But war is just violence. But I was thinking about that this morning because they were talking about news. I mean, in the news they were talking about war and they were talking about endless war. Why we can't seem to stop. And I always think about it from a domestic violence perspective. Everybody dislikes the domestic abuser when they beat women and they abuse children. But boy, if it's a politician, they love it. They'll chat, they'll clap, cheer. jump up and down, go to a rally, put a bumper sticker on the back of the car, put a magnet on the refrigerator. Let me tell you, I was watching a crosstalk this morning. I'm trying to figure out why war even still exists. I mean, we know there's violence, domestic violence and abuse. All these are violations. And the ultimate violation is war, because it encompasses all of that. War is the gateway drug into war is domestic violence and abuse, violating other people. And the pinnacle, the paramount, the climax of that psychopathy, it's war. All right, let me see. I want to show you this. At the beginning of this crosstalk, the brother said something pretty important. Wait a minute, is it this one? Nope, not that one. This one. Nope, not that one. I think it's this one right here. I'm not mistaken. Crazy world is a crosstalk.
With the government of Ukraine is
coming that they must solve these problems. Oh, by the way, problems that they've created themselves. What's going on? You can jump in anytime you want. Let me go to John first. Life, even after death. Cross-talking some real news. I'm joined by my guest here in Moscow, Dmitry Babich. He's a political analyst with Sputnik International. And in France, we have John Laughlin. He is a lecturer in political philosophy at ICES, the Catholic University of Vendy. All right, gentlemen, cross-talk rules in effect. That means you can jump in anytime you want. Let me go to John first in France. I came across a wonderful article. Most of his articles are wonderful, by Pat Buchanan, titled, "All of the World's Problems Ours to Solve?" Question mark here. And he says in it, I think it's...
Ooh, yes, this is it. Yep, this is it. Are all the world's problems ours to solve? That's a great question. I'll answer that question for me. Do you feel like you need to solve your neighbor's problems? Do you feel like you got to solve everyone's problems? Do you feel like you got to solve people's problems that you never met? Do you feel like you need to solve another religion's problems? Do you feel like you need to... Should we be trying to solve anybody else's problems and we can't solve our own? It's like in France. Thank goodness. Week 26, I think. 26 of the yellow vest standing up. French, the people are tired. Vive la France! Tired of the government trying to solve everybody else's problems, trying to solve the elite's problems by taking money from food from the poor, give it to the bourgeoisie, and they're standing up. The rest of the world kind of laying down. But the other thing I think about when I look at that is what problems in the world aren't already solved. I'd love to hear about any problem at the root level that our professionals have not already solved. And there are none. They just pretend that the problems aren't there. So I want him to start this off. He said a few deep things here in the beginning.
It's quite artfully written here. After an exhausting 2 weeks, one is tempted to ask, how many quarrels, clashes, and conflicts can even a superpower manage at once? And is it not time for the United States, preoccupied with so many crises, to begin asking, why is this our problem? John, this administration, this White House, seems to think that it is God ordained that they must solve these problems. Oh, by the way, problems that they've created themselves. What's going on here? Go ahead, John.
Well, I think this idea that the superpower is responsible for every country in the world is obviously ridiculous, but it's even more ridiculous in view of the fact that under Trump, as indeed under other administrations, but under Trump, these various attempts to, as it were, solve problems have failed. We've seen the failure only last week in Venezuela, where, of course, the Americans wanted to have a military coup and effect regime change by a coup which they would have supported if it had succeeded, but it didn't succeed. And this failure to effect a regime change in Venezuela comes on the heels of other failures where the Wizards of Oz in Washington have similarly not managed to achieve the outcome that they wanted. The most obvious other examples being Syria, where, of course, regime change was the initial goal, but where that goal has now been abandoned some time ago, and more recently Ukraine, where their candidate for regime change in 2014 was, as we all know, roundly beaten at the elections by a joker. And this shows that the determination to run the affairs of the world is in direct proportion to the inability to do it. Yeah. And so we're in this crazy situation where people keep on thinking that they can manage the world, but keep failing to do it. And, I remember once in 2004 in Iran, a very intelligent Iranian minister saying to me, America creates new scandals and new crises in order to cover up the existing ones.
Exactly.
And that, I think, is a very perceptive of American foreign policy.
You know, let me turn to...
Absolutely. Absolutely. We create new problems and new crises because they need the people to stop talking about the old ones, right? They keep hitting you left, right, combo, uppercut, jab, and then Americans just kind of like this, back and forth, Trump, Obama, then left, right, this, that, they're going back and forth. And the reality is, it all comes down to one simple issue. Violence, a solution of the psychopath, is acceptable. It's always acceptable. Like, let me ask you a question. Like in children, like when you see a temper tantrum, you see people, the little kid like flipping out, didn't get his candy, say, ah, and it resorts to violence, hits his brother, hits the mom, hits whatever. At that point, it's childish. Why is it not childish when it's an adult politician in Washington? Why is it not childish when it's the French? Why is it not childish when it's the UK? It's not childish then. It's foul when a man is beating his wife, but it's okay when the politician's beating a nation full of wives. It's okay, you can cheer it. Why is violence still an option? In 2019, I don't even know what today is. What is today, May? May 13th. Why is violence still an option? Because we cheer popular psychopaths. We have issues. And I don't always put it on the government. It really comes down to us. They are us. Whether you're in France or the UK or Britain, the United States, any of the killers, any of the popular killers, any of the ones getting out of the ICC, the International Criminal Court, because we're all some international criminals. We never solve anything. And we always think we can solve things. We can't solve it at home, but we can go solve it somewhere else. We can go solve everybody else's problems, but we can't solve it here. Every American president is voted in on an anti-war platform. Well, let me take that back. I don't think presidents are voted in, but the people choose. They like to choose the anti-war person for the most part. But they always get more war. And we still vote for it and can't figure out why it's not stopping. Let's keep it going. Yeah, American imperialism. Yeah, Tanya, it's American imperialism, but it's like this. It's an imperialistic thing, if you take the America out, that people always feel they can dominate somebody else. Like it's okay to violate somebody else. It's okay to beat somebody else who's weaker than they are and steal what they got. It's like, it's all the things behind all the root. It's the root thing behind every single problem. Like, it's like the kid that has the temper tantrum, right? They resort to that violence. They want to start hitting mom. And happy Mother's Day, by the way. Did I say that? Happy Mother. All the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day, y'all. But like I said, every day is Mother's Day. So don't get confused and discombobulated. Every day is Mother's Day. But it's this idea that it's okay when you can't solve a problem, when you're not smart enough to solve a problem, that you start beating on somebody. And people keep supporting it over and over and over. It's like at work. When y'all can't solve a problem with somebody, do you beat them up? Do you go down to John's desk? Hey, John, the TPS report's late, brother. When them TPS reports gonna be done? Well, I was working on something. Do you start fighting them? You get upset? No. Go back to your desk. So if you're not violent, you're not a psychopathic abuser, okay with the same basic concept of beating children and beating wives, why in the hell are you voting for government that beats nations? Please explain that to me. Somebody, somewhere. All right, a lot of good points were made in this first little discussion.
Dima, we haven't mentioned Iran here. I mean, if you look at the administration's policy, one would get the impression that they're talking themselves into a conflict here. I mean, and it is so patently obvious. I mean, the only difference may be...
Hang on. Susan said something real deep. I'm on that, right? Because America is good at creating boogeymen. You're right about that. The government, they're great at scaring adults. But, outside of the government thing, because the government, it's just a system. It's a dumb system. There is no government per se, right? Like it's a fantasy construct. It's a system. It's people, it's us. It actually is your neighbors. It's the ones behind the gated communities that you actually can't go see. Bernie Sanders and Obamas and Trumps that will shoot you at the gate if you go try to say hi. Fear. Adults who were scared to actually come out from underneath the covers. They're always scared by some boogeyman. If it's not China, if it's not Russia, it's black people, it's Jews, it's immigrants. They always come out with the boogie, 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 boogie. And then they got this scared. I need to hide. I need someone to save me. So it is them. They're great at creating boogeymen. But to me, it always falls back on us. Like, as adults, you 52 damn years old. Why are you still scared of what's under your bed? Why are you still scared of what's in the closet? Why are you still scared of the darkness? Why are you still scared of Iran? Iran, who does not have one nuclear weapon. Not one. Nope. Nowhere. Zip. Nowhere. And America got like 5,000. Israel got like 200. Most nations who have nukes can destroy this world many times over. But like Susan said, boogie, 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 boogie. I'm sorry, I like to do that. I like to do that. I have to admit, y'all, I'm sorry. Because I can do that. Damn it. All right, let me stop. Yes, propaganda of fear. Fear. Because our government is great at scaring children. Fantastic at scaring children in adult costumes, adult avatars, spiritual creatures who have been sent here. Because the consensus is in. Consensus is in. All my friends, all my crazy friends, we agree. We agree that we are just spiritual creatures here having a human biological experience. And if we are spiritual creatures, if we are wave energy, why in the hell are we scared of the other biological creatures? If we know this isn't the end. This is why I like spirituality. Because once you accept that this is not the end, you can actually stand up and say things that are meaningful while you're damn here. We are spiritual creatures having a human experience. All the psychopathic monkeys running around, you're supposed to be able to stand up to them, not vote for them and put them back in office.
Between this and 2003 is that they're just getting more sloppy and more arrogant. Dima.
Well, it's true, and just how quickly it all changes. You know, in 2003, you remember for 2 years they were breeding the troops, heating up tensions. Now, I just loved another article by Pat Buchanan in the American Conservative, Bolton's war whispers sounding more like battle cries. And the beginning of the article, last week it was Venezuela in America's gun sights, but by Sunday night it was Iran that was in our crosshairs. We all remember, these people, Bolton and Pompeo, they didn't even apologize when Bloomberg and other American media outlets basically revealed the story that there was an attempted coup and it failed simply because they couldn't muster enough people, to support Guaido. So it was an embarrassment. But instead of apologizing, the two men quickly switched to Iran, and we had John Bolton saying, we want to send an unmistakable message to the Iranian regime that any attack on the United States interests will be met with unrelenting force.
Okay, well,
Real talk. Hold on, real talk. Because they tried to get Guaido to go down there and beat a bunch of people, and nobody stood up with him. Down there by his damn self. It's him and like a howler monkey and some some tardigrades and a few CIA officers trying to get people to stand up and overthrow the government that they hate. And nobody's standing up. Very few people, except the only people you'll see on TV are the ones that we pay to stand up. Because starving people will stand up against their government until the government trucks come and then they run. So we couldn't do that in Venezuela. We couldn't go down there and get together with a team of abusers and abuse them. And so we flipped the script. Now it's on to Iran. Now it's on to who else? Iran, and we still got the active stuff in the Congo. And so this is what I'm gonna do. Because I'm anti-war. I'm anti-violence. Like anti-war is a thing, but I'm more anti-violence because anti-war doesn't say enough. I'm anti you beating on people because you don't have a better solution. You get home from work and the chicken ain't warm and you don't know how to talk to your wife. You don't know how to sit down and say, listen, honey, you know what? When I get home, I like the chicken to be cooked. I want the rice on my plate. Like, this is how that discussion goes. And your wife will look at you and say, you know what? When I get home, I like some chicken too. I like the rice to be warm too. I work too. But only that, I take care of the kids. I pack your lunch. So, don't you think I'm a little tired when I get home too? And you go back and forth. Like, this is negotiation. Well, you know what, honey? I didn't really even think about that. You do work, don't you? I guess I'm trapped in this psychological weird thing that Moses passed on in the Bible and the scriptures that women's supposed to cook and clean and be barefoot and pregnant, stuff like that. I guess I was just confused because I seen my mama do it growing up, but I didn't really think because mama really didn't work that much. She was part-time and you work full-time. Damn it, you making sense, girl. You know what? You stay there. I'm gonna get you some roses and I'm gonna cook your chicken. I'm gonna make you some dirty rice. No damn okra in it though. I ain't gonna put no okra. And for that slimy nasty. See, this is a negotiation, right? So it's like Iran, y'all acting up. Y'all sit down, come on for real. Listen, Iran, listen, the chicken kind of cold, Iran. This is what I'm saying in terms of leadership. If you want to pick a leader, that's who I would give you respect for picking. One who can sit down and negotiate, form words with their mouths, form intellectual concepts and thoughts, and try to find out the root problem. See if there's already a solution for that problem. Go sit down with Iran and say, Iran, you know what? Listen, I'm not pleased with what you're doing. Are you trying to make nuclear weapons even though you said that you wouldn't because the Shah said you can't make any nuclear weapons? Are you making nuclear weapons? And Iran could look over and say, well, listen, baby, you already got 4,000 nuclear weapons. You realize that you could murder me, you could murder the country next to me, and you could murder the whole planet over 100 times, over and over and over and over. Can I just have one? Can I have one? But then the negotiation goes back and forth. Like, I think every problem is solved with higher thought, using critical thought, using your intellectual abilities. And somebody tell me, when was the last president who actually solved problems using their mouth, not their fist? When was the last president you had that was not an abuser? One who believed in the core concepts of domestic earth violence? None. And that's what I don't understand. Like, people, they support it at a big crowd level, at the politician level. It's okay to have pedophilia, beat people and traffic children, blow nations up and mass rape. It's okay then. But you get one little poor person that does it, it's not okay. It's not okay when your neighbor does it. It's that double standard. Never. No, Jonathan, I haven't seen it. I have not seen it. We are lost in some weird psychological place in the human race where we constantly want to cheer oppressors. We constantly want to become the oppressors. We constantly want to put them in control, and they don't have to make decisions the same way we do. When we got a problem with somebody, you got a problem with somebody at the grocery store, you don't go beat them, and shove their cart, and steal their goods. That imperialism. You don't do that. Psychopaths do what psychopaths do. And that's my point, Christine. It's a psychopathic decision-making process. Only to a psychopath is taking their fist or their military-industrial complex and beating somebody over the head with it. That's only a solution for a psychopath. Only beating their wife or their husband, because y'all out there beating husbands too, beating your children. Like, those are only decisions made by psychopathic people who don't have that gene that's processing empathy and it's got too much fear and it's high on the aggression, low on the love. That's 27 genes called the warrior genes. Let me see. Good morning, Christine. Before me, Jimmy Carter was the only president that never dropped a bomb. Exactly, Tanya. And Jimmy Carter, he's one of the ones standing up, who's speaking now, saying America is not a democracy. Y'all can stop voting. America is an oligarchy. And in an oligarchy, profit determines everything. When you got a military-industrial complex, bombs will drop everywhere, abusing everybody around. And y'all hear about the new one that got the ninja bomb? Did y'all see? Hang on. Did y'all hear about this ninja bomb thing? Oh, man. They're not going to quit. They're not going to quit. I know they're going to keep coming up with stuff. People still voting. They're going to keep coming up with new stuff to try to keep you propagandize into supporting and loving war and abusing poor people. Hang on, where is this at? They got something called the ninja bomb. Where is this? Where is this? Y'all heard about this? Craziness. Oh, yeah. A whole bunch of stuff. Oh, yeah, and the yellow vest got violent this weekend. It was a little violence. The police got a little rough with them. Oh, actually, you know what? Speaking of violence, I'm going to show you this. 99 reasons why not to play with your food. This is called.
CRM is how you keep track of it.
Not that. I don't know what that is. Salesforce. Nope. Advertisement is the problem. Get rid of that. Look at this. Don't play with your food. Don't laugh. This is not funny. I think that's an octopus or squid. She was violating it. She was going to eat it. And the octopus was like, oh, no, you ain't. No, you ain't. I'm going to defend myself. That octopus is not the terrorist in this movie. And no. Oh, look at her eye. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, goodness. Oh, it's got her eye. Oh. Damn it, y'all need to stop eating octopuses. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't like. Oh, Lord. Oh, I'm vegetarian. Oh, listen, all right. Speaking of violations, that's a violation right there. That's a violation. Oh my good. Did you see her eye almost coming out the socket? That daggone they said, yeah, get the terrorist, the octopus. That was not a terrorist octopus. You were trying to eat the octopus. The octopus just didn't want to be eaten. There are no terrorists in this world. You invade their nations. They just want to grow some food, some okra or something. I'm sorry, that bothered me a little bit. I gotta think my eyes. I don't know. I just like the socket and the blood. And when you violate, when you deploy psychopath activity probably comes back on you. And no, I'm not going down the vegetarian route. We are not going to talk about, yes, I am vegetarian, but I murder animals all the time. Not only just because I'm an American, I pay my taxes and I live here, but also, and I got a bank account. So that's murdering humans all over this planet, central banking. But not only that, every time I drink a smoothie, I'm murdering all kind of tardigrades. I think they're alive, they're creatures, they're sentient. When I make my smoothie, I put my lettuce in there, my avocado, I put some bananas in there. I'm like, ooh, that's making me hungry. I might eat one a day. And when I eat, there's billions of them in there. All right, hang on. That's not what I want to look at. What are we talking about? We're talking about war. All right, hang on. We're supposed to talk about the ninja bomb, right? The ninja bomb. Where's the ninja bomb, man? I got this over here. I saw that this morning. I saw a piece of it. And I was like, what the hell? This girl. All right, check this out.
Drone warfare has long been part of the U.S. government's war on terror, and it's gotten ugly on more than one occasion.
Killing people by these drones, basically sitting on a screen and eliminating people, dehumanizing them, treating them as if they're from some other planet, not giving them a basic right of proving their innocence. I mean, it violates all norms of justice.
On top of that, it's all classified, so leaking the methodology behind what human rights groups have called a method for extrajudicial executions can get you in a lot of trouble. For Daniel Hale, an NSA officer and now suspected whistleblower, that could mean up to 50 years in jail. That echoes Chelsea Manning's fate. She's just recently been released from jail for refusing to testify before a grand jury, but she could return soon as she's already got another subpoena. Now, to be fair, U.S. leaders have long talked about their deep conviction over civilian deaths.
The architecture, the legal architecture around the use of drone strikes or other kinetic strikes wasn't as precise as it should have been, and there's no doubt that civilians were killed that shouldn't have been. I think that over the last several years, we have worked very hard to avoid and prevent those kinds of tragedies from taking place.
Apparently, it was U.S. President Barack Obama who ordered the creation of a new missile device that would increase the precision and accuracy of these Predator drone strikes and minimize civilian casualties. It's apparently called the Ninja Bomb. Now, it may be the Pentagon's worst-kept secret. They have not officially confirmed it, but so far, several military officials have said that it's being used. It's argued that the new missile might enhance the image of the United States in the countries that are already subject to U.S. military drone strike operations. Unlike a regular missile, it doesn't explode. Instead, it deploys 6 blades that fan out of its casing moments before impact. Blades are so sharp they can cut through vehicles and slice their target into pieces. So, we've got blades slinging through the air in order to reduce civilian casualties. Sounds plausible enough. Apparently, the new Ninja Bomb has already been used in Iraq, Libya, Syria, Somalia, and Yemen.
All right, hold on. I'm going to stop for a minute because... So they're trying to convince you that they don't want to harm civilians right now. This is the nation that's currently... How many people are starving to death right now in Yemen? 10 million. They're trying to convince you that, oh, we're just going to get the terrorists, and this is what we want to do. They don't care. And they propagandize you because they call it ninja for a reason. Why? Because Americans like ninjas. That's why. Americans and children, they like ninjas. You know, this, but it's based in this concept that they can just abuse the women they want to abuse, right? This is that same analogy. Guy come home, you know, say your sister lived with her and girlfriend lived there too, and he comes home and we gets to fighting with his wife and beating her up. He doesn't want to hurt the girlfriend. He doesn't want to hurt the sister who lives in the house, because you know the sister and girlfriend, they not gonna sit back and be like, oh yeah, you just go ahead and beat on her. We gonna sit ahead and let you beat on her. They ain't gonna sit back. You gonna start, oh girl, they down there fussing. Get these bamboo things got to go. Girl, got your blade. I got my blade. This fool acting up. So what does the abuser do? The abuser comes up with schemes to abuse the woman when nobody's around. How does he do it? He gets them away from their families, right? All of this to me is psychopathy, and it all fits together. What does abuser do? He'll marry a woman and get it the hell out of town. He'll marry the woman, make sure you can't move in. No, we're not gonna move in with your mama because I'm a psychopath. And to me, it's the same thing. You know, how is it any better that you're trying, if that's what you're trying to do, kill one person as opposed to everybody in the car, kill one person at the wedding as opposed to everybody at the wedding? It's not any better. You're still a psychopath killer. You're still the abuser. It's still the same psychological breakdown that the abusers do. And this is what I'm saying is, you gotta listen to neuroscience. You gotta listen to behavioral scientists. You have psychopathic people who are capable of abuse, and you have the ones that aren't. So no, I don't think this is any better, but I think it's propaganda. I think they play this game. They always give you just enough to make you think that they're human, and they're not.
Now, the mastermind behind the suicide bombing on the USS Cole back in the year 2000 was apparently taken out by a ninja bomb in January, according to Pentagon reports. So, is this new missile the answer? Will it improve the image of the drone strike program in the eyes of the American public? What do you think of the drone strike program?
Americans stupid.
I'm okay with it.
I know nothing about it.
It's pretty awful, actually.
We have this thing now called a ninja bomb, right? And what it is when it detonates, it sends blades through the air. And the idea is this will minimize civilian casualties. We can pick the terrorists we want to kill, send the ninja bomb, and fewer civilians will be killed.
How will you know that the blades kill the terrorists and not the civilians?
It doesn't seem like that you can target maybe specific people with that. It seems like you'll just spread out a lot of damage.
I think that
I don't like any of their answers for the most part, because no one's asking the right question. Why are you trying to abuse one person? Why are you trying to kill one person? Did that person actually harm you? Is this a part of any real national defense, or is this national offense, which is what it always is? But of course, people are okay with them killing the terrorists, because
that sounds like a pretty good program then.
No, it doesn't.
Limit civilian casualties is a great idea.
No, that's not happening. I think if somebody suggested that I don't think that is even real.
I don't think it really will reduce civilian casualties. I think that this is basically a propaganda weapon, if you want to put it that way, to make people feel that there's a kinder, gentler way of killing people, when in fact this is still assassination, which violates international law and the UN Declaration of Human Rights. I think this is some way of trying to placate the public in the United States and probably even more so around the world. With the technology as it stands right now, the kind of precision that they're talking about is essentially impossible. And the notion of assassination, whether precise or generalized, is still totally unacceptable.
Completely. It's still a violation. You're still seeking to violate other people. Like, that's the problem. It's not about weaponry and getting the right person. There's no right person to get because you're a person. Like, I was thinking about this weekend. Persona. Person. What is a person? Do you hate anybody? Anybody hate anybody here? Raise your hand. You hate anybody? You hate a person? You hate the person? Let me ask you a question. If you think we're wave energy, you think we're spirits that are here, do you hate the spirit too? Or you hate the person? You hate the persona? What is a person? What is a spirit? Well, a person, persona, is just, that's their rearing, their indoctrination. It's the role they were given in this game we call Earth, this stage show. They were put in a certain place, born to a certain family, born in a certain country, and they became a person, but there's still a spirit on the inside. So why are you hating an avatar? Effectively, that's what we're talking about. Like, everybody's avatars. They've been given these personas. They've been given these roles. Like, somebody called me this week. So I said, oh, you a real character. And I was like, I ain't know. And I stopped up that, yeah, actually I am. I am a character. That's a good point. I was born in a place and I adopted all the mannerisms. I was indoctrinated. I was given my thoughts and philosophies, and I watched everyone around me, and I picked those things up, and it gave me this persona thing. Some people hate that, and some people don't. Once again, going back to Saj Guru, there are no good and bad people. They're just people and atmosphere. We create good atmospheres, we have good people. This is why I'm always a world peace guy. I'm always about peace. Everything for me is about peace, but it's about on fixing the atmospheres. You don't create peace through war. You don't get a woman to make you warm chicken when you get home by beating on her. You get her to do that by loving her, bringing home roses, giving her reasons to. You solve problems in national security by helping nations, not blowing them up and robbing them. That's how you create violence, and the next generation will grow up to hate you and your children. That's how you keep war going. You keep voting for psychopathic people who aren't smart enough in government to constantly keep violence prolific. What is it? What is that saying? What's that scripture about begetting? Something about hate begets hate. I'm going to modify it a little bit. If you vote for violence, all you're going to beget is more violence. You keep voting for that brother-in-law beating on your sister. You keep making it okay. You keep giving excuses as to why they do it. Are they going to stop? You keep voting for your Bernies and your Kamalas and your Trumps and your Obamas, all the part of the system that requires killing people, abusers, domestic earth violence. You think they're going to stop? No, they're not going to stop. All you're doing is supporting. I don't want to make this a voting thing. I just simply think that we should be beyond war. We should be evolved to a point where we want people to fix atmospheres. We want people to create real national security by taking care of our neighbors. Because if you believe in neighborhood security, we got that here. Called the what? Neighborhood watch? You know, how's neighborhood watch work? You go to somebody's house, what happens? They bake some chicken. Somebody brings rice and the other person brings a berry pie. And you sit down and y'all get friendly and you fellowship. You get to know each other. You get to like each other. You get to know who each other's kids are. You become a community. And then you have neighborhood security. You don't have neighborhood security by invading your neighbor and blowing their house up and setting it on fire and stealing their TV and calling it neighborhood security. So no, it's not national security after, it's destruction. It's destabilizing the planet. That's how they make their money. That's how the military industrial complex sells weapons, and that's how you can destroy your communities. All right, I'm gonna do comments and I'm gonna get out of here. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is some of us are evolving out of violence and the others just want to take the violence and keep it going. I just think we should be past this point. We don't need ninja weapons. We need ninja food, ninja water. Creating drones to go murder and destroy countries, where we create drones and software and electronics and all the resources we steal from all the poor countries because we're killing everybody, and use it to fix the atmospheres. Fix the atmosphere in Gaza. Fix the atmosphere in the West Bank. Fix the atmosphere in the Congo. Fix the atmosphere in ghettos all over the United States of America. Fix the atmosphere in the trailer parks. And it's simple. People who have food, water, a house, place to live, not violent people. The psychopaths love violence. They love to breed it because violent psychopaths, not all psychopaths, because you know doctors are psychopaths. Y'all know that, right? You don't get in trouble. You know all doctors, not all of them, most of them are psychopaths. They are. It's just genes, y'all. It's just warrior genes. Doctors can turn off that ability to be fearful and scared. Like, think about it. A little kid comes in on a gurney, was in a car accident, and most of us, half of his leg hanging off or something. I'd shoot, please, me? I'd make a horrible doctor. I'd just faint right there. You all got to say to the kid, oh Lord, say the kid, somebody save him. I had to run out of there. I can't, all that blood squirting out. But a doctor, click, they turn that mess off. Warrior genes. They have the ability not to be cringing at blood. And the doctor can jump right in there, grab the leg, get the stitch, start stitching and check the vein to stitch that together and figure this out. Stat 7797, all that stuff they say in the hospital. Their brain just firing and thinking. They're not thinking about blood. They're not looking at the little girl face and see this little pretty baby and want to say, they just like, I got a job to do, I'm gonna do it. And they just do it. They're psychopaths that save us, right? Because that's where those genes came from. They evolved to allow us to operate within a difficult environment to get a job done. Which is why in walks all your presidents and congressmen and senators and prime ministers. You put normal people, perhaps, in violent circumstances, surround them by hundreds of the most influential, powerful people in the world that don't take no for an answer. What happens? Click, 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 click. Them genes start flipping. 27 genes. Warrior genes. And you make psychopaths out of them. And we create an environment in all governments that are based in murdering people, destabilizing the world instead of fixing atmospheres and solving problems. That's what I'm saying. The state of America. American citizens have to, dang it. It just flew past. Hey, Brother Kelly, I'm sorry, I missed that one too. Hey, Brother Don, I like Jimmy Carter. I like him too, Michael. I heard a lot of good things. I heard some bad things too. So I don't get on the identities. Like, for me, it's just like, that's good, that's bad. That's good, that's bad. Like Thomas Jefferson. I think he owned slaves and all that stuff, but he had a good quote. When Thomas Jefferson, he was the one who said something about the greatest act of a patriot is dissent. Oh, no. Brother Mark Twain said it. I forgot who said it. I'm messing my quotes up. Something to the effect of, you're supposed to love, all right, I'm gonna go back. All right, let me go back because I can find the quote. I actually posted it this morning. But people that hear Thomas Jefferson, like, I can't listen to anything Thomas Jefferson said. I can't listen to anything Jimmy Carter said because he's a Democrat or he's this or he owns slaves or he did this. Truth is truth no matter where it's from. What did that brother say? Hang on. I post this stuff, sometimes I'll lose it. Oh, thank you for sharing, Brother Dale. Let me see. No, it's Mark Twain who says it. Patriotism is loving your country at all times and your government when they deserve it. So let me ask y'all a question. I don't know where you are. Does your government deserve your love? Does it deserve your tenderness? Does it deserve gifts? Does it deserve more voting and more support? What is it doing? Is it abusing? Does it have the mindset of the abuser, the domestic abuser? Is it psychopathic? Is it doing psychopathic things? So he said that, and what did Hang on. Where is he at? Thomas Jefferson. He said, dissent is the highest form of patriotism. Important. Doesn't matter who said it. Dissent. You want to be a patriot to your neighbors. You want to be a patriot to your land. I hate the word country because I don't really believe in countries. I don't believe that I'm owned. I don't believe in slavery. I don't think that any of the elites own me because they destroyed a country and drew a border around it. They don't own me, so I don't believe in the country model. But patriotism is looking out for your neighbors. That's what it is. Patriotism, looking out for your community. And sometimes you have to be dissenting against those who claim they own it. No news is good news. Just CIA focus group. No news is good news. That's GNU news, right? Yeah, my brother Mark, we grew up in a very similar place. When your food fights back, oh yeah, she deserved it. Yeah, Patricia. Well, that's the thing is, and she told her the octopus came for her. But same way we kind of go for other countries and they fight back. That doesn't make them terrorists. That just means that they're doing what they're supposed to. They are an avatar in a certain place and they're responding how they are supposed to because they don't want to get eaten. Totally gives me the creeps. Oh yeah, y'all still on that. Hold on, I'm up in comments. Let me move down. Russian octopuses, right, Jeannie? It's fear. Did that girl eat octopus ever get in life? No, I think she's done. She did, what's that called? You ever call it calamari? Where you take their arms and legs, y'all cut them off and fry them up in butter and stuff. All right, let me see. Don't cry when DC explodes in a flash of fire. Well, Jimmy, we tempt that all the time. I'm not going to cry. I'm just going to say, I told y'all so. Y'all wasn't listening. I told y'all. And you know what? And when and if that happens, Jimmy, guess where all the politician psychopaths going to be? In their bunkers. They're going to be safe and warm, eating calamari and warm chicken and rice. You know, it's the citizens who are, because there's a government continuity program. They got that project in place. Government ain't going nowhere. That's what I'm saying. Citizens, human beings, we need a human being continuity program. Grow some food. Learn how to support yourself. Become independent of infrastructure. That's your continuity program and your continuity program for your neighbors. Citizens killed that should have been. Citizens killed that shouldn't have been. Some citizens should be. I'm not sure what you're saying there, Lori. I think people on the other side of the world, I think they can pick and choose like what happens in their nation. Like, I don't think we should be involved in other countries. I don't think we know enough. We barely know how to fix problems next door. We shouldn't be a couple countries over. Like one thing Jesse Ventura said, he said, there were more Americans fighting in the Vietnam War, this revolution, than there were Vietnamese. Why? Why in the world is that the case? Why would that be the case? I think if people want to stand up and they want to fix their government in that way, that's up to them. That's not up to me. I have no dog in that fight at all. I'm on the other side of the world. I wish my cousins well on that side of the world, but we shouldn't be involved in any of it, ever. All right. Oh, I'm gonna change my background. I want to show you something else. So yeah, so this isn't an anti-gun thing. I'm not anti-gun at all. Gun is a tool like a computer. You can use a computer to rob people and do bad things. You can do good things and save people. Hang on, where is this? I want to change this. I had another background. Right. So end violence against women. My interest is, how about we just end violence, period? How about we do root cause fixes? How about we just end violence? End violence. We can do that. That's actually easier to do than ending violence just against women, or ending violence just against one group, or ending violence just against one country. Most people agree with ending violence, period. Take violent people and get rid of them. Take violent systems and fix them so they can't be violent. They can't be psychopathic. And that's easy to do because most people agree on that. But you try to end violence against women, you're going to fail. Why? You try to end violence just against blacks, you're going to fail. Why? You try to end violence just against immigrants, you're going to fail. Why? because you're not going after the root cause of the problem. And you're only trying to help one community. This is why I'm always about across the board, attack problems at the root, and you'll solve problems for various communities, if not all communities. And if you take that approach, you'll get there. It's like, that's why they call the group Black Lives Matter. Why? Because they didn't want to fix anything. They wanted to make an industry out of it. I know, the black leadership, that's what they're always up to. The little crazy black caucus, that's just what they do. But once again, you put these people in government, they become psychopaths. They go along with the psychopathic model because it's how they put bread on their tables. But if they stood up and said all lives matter, which is the critique, then everybody would agree. Then government has to change because nobody's fighting anybody. The monkeys aren't fighting on either side. They're all agreeing. Very simple. It's all about force. Like Martin Luther King said, you want to change the government, you either got to have the money or the numbers. And that's why they killed him, because he didn't have the money, but he had the numbers. So they got together and killed him, the neocons and neoliberals, because they had that war in Vietnam they needed to fund with Johnson, making big money. But if you actually want to solve problems, you got to have the numbers. How do you get the numbers? You stop offending people. You don't exclude groups. You look at the root cause of the problem, the ill that you want to get rid of. If that is domestic violence, then you attack the issue of violence. Why are people being raised in atmospheres for conflict? Well, because government makes money doing that. Corporations, they need you fighting each other instead of worrying about them buying your government. But then the anti-domestic violence group, they should be with the anti-war group. They should be with the anti-oppression group. They should be with the anti-mass incarceration group. They all got the same thing in mind. But they don't get together because they're kept apart by this media thing. I heard something today, I like this word. What do they call it? Media barons. That's what we need to start calling them. Media barons. The media barons, they need conflict. And as long as they got conflict, they're selling papers and making big money. And war is a great way to do that, along with violence. Wait, who's the enemy today? Brother Jonathan, who is the enemy today? Whatever will get people just discombobulated, confused, and fighting each other instead of those creating the enemies always above us in leadership. War on terror, violation of verbiage to minimize blood. Blood bath cleansing. Oh, Carolyn, speaking of that, you just reminded me of something. And I ran late. I'm supposed to be getting out of here, but you reminded me. So there was a protest somewhere. Did y'all see the stair protest? There was a protest on some steps. I think this might have been France. Was this France? Where is this? Paris. Yeah, this is Paris. Y'all see the tail? Look at this. Look at this right here. Look at these people crazy.
Hi, I'm Alex Schultz.
And I'm Andrew Cooper.
In 2015, we
Alex
took a surf.
Cooper, listen, we got business to talk. Look, check this out. Look at this. This is the Paris tourist trap. Paris tourist trap drowned in fake blood by environmental activists, pouring blood on the steps. What was this for? 6 mass extinction on the Earth. Earth species being extincted. And humans, we're species too. I love French. I love French. Our cousins over there. Y'all go ahead and try that. Y'all go ahead.
will become widespread. The loss of wildlife will greatly.
Ooh, I love that. And I'm all on it. I'm all on it. But can we call the human being a species going extinct? A species kept in conflict? Powerful, powerful. Dissent. Not just for the animals, but for the people too. They're throwing roses for everybody, y'all. Where the police at? Where the police? Where the popo? The popo, they ran somewhere. The popo. Oh, this is in the video. You see the popo? When they first started pouring it, see, remember I said it's all about numbers? Not I, but King said it. Like they started pouring the blood at first and they had the police out there taking it. Oh, there he is. There he is right there. See him right there? There's one of him, and look how many of them there are. Look at it, look at it. One of him, look at all these people right here. And this body steps full of blood, right? Because at first when they started pouring, he was taking the bottles like, no, give me that, give me that, give me that. And the people, they lined up behind him, they had buckets and other bottles, and everyone started pouring, they got blood all over it. And they made their point. They made a message because they had the numbers. If they showed up there with 3 or 4 people and there's 3 or 4 police, there would be no blood in them steps. Them steps would be clean, no point made. That's my point there. But that's what Martin Luther King was saying. You got to bring the numbers. You either got to have the money or the numbers, or you ain't changing nothing. Not the votes. That changes nothing. All right, let me get out of here. Well, I do last couple comments. I'm gonna keep going. Let me see. Kinder, gentler way of killing people. That's what he said, Jonathan. There's a kinder, gentler way to murder people. No, there's not. Shared to TGR. Well, thank you, brother agent. I have no idea what TGR is. Oh, I didn't share it anywhere, did I? I didn't share this video anywhere. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, well, it was a rough morning. I had a late start. I'll share it out later. Let me see. But I appreciate y'all sharing. Terrorist isn't an army. You can terrorist isn't an army. You can capture each individual if it's actually terrorist. Terrorist, the new scary word, like measles. Oh, go there, Susan. Go there, Susan. Take something that is easily solvable and you make a business out of not solving the problem. Measles and terrorists, same basic concept. Once again, you got a problem with terrorism, you got a problem with pharmaceutical terrorism. You got a problem with measles, you got a problem with governments writing legislation to make problems out of things that were already solved, right? People getting measles at old age, getting sick, losing their eyesight and problems like that. Yeah, let me ask you a question. Would you have those problems if we kept up herd immunity naturally? If we kept having the measles and mumps parties? Would we have these problems? No, that's why when somebody got the measles, you go have a party at his house. Everybody get it. Not a problem. Already solved it. Nature already solved it. But the pharmaceutical industry figured out a way how to unsolve it. Why? So now they can bring out measles. Buy my product. Government, you gotta force people to buy my product. Healthcare costs will go up unless you buy my product. Go destroy a nation, cause some terrorism. You gotta give me some money. We gotta fight these terrorists. They literally create the problems and make money not solving them. It's all business. That's why I say everything's economics. Always focus on the economics. Economics, economics, economics. Love is the way, although I must admit it's getting harder to just believe in love. It is, Sandra. Well, yeah, all right. Well, love is the way. We spot on there. I don't think it's hard to believe in love. It's not hard to believe in love. I think when we process that we are just avatars, we're spiritual creatures and these biological meat cows, meat human, monkey things, it's easy to love people. Like when you think about like people become what they're supposed to. They're raised in a certain environment and they become that. You can love the spirit without liking the persona or the person. Like think about it like from that perspective. Who said that? And Martin Luther King said that too. He said, because I love King speeches. I'm one of the few people who post them and actually listen to the speeches. You know, he said, thank goodness Jesus said you got to love people, not like them. You don't have to like people. You don't have to like the person. You got to love the spirit. And I think that's very easy. That's very easy because I always put myself in other people's shoes, Sandra, and I just say, you know what? If I were born there, I'd probably be them. If I were born there, I'd probably be doing just what they're doing. All right. How many masks does one wear prior to authenticity? Rebecca, I'd probably say endless. Rebecca, I'm not convinced that we actually can find out who the authentic spirit is beneath us because we're so indoctrinated, so hardcore. We're given race, religion, nation, community, culture, family nuances. Like there's so much crap that makes up our person. And just it piles on top of it. It's all this trash. They just throw all this trash on top of the spirit. And so I'm not convinced we ever find it. I don't think we have to find it. I think that all we have to do is just keep eroding it, right? You keep eroding it. Like keep trying to discover who you are, your authentic self. And every time you see somebody pile some trash on you, remove that trash. But I don't think we'll ever get down to it. I think we're all characters. I think we're all just here having experience, data collecting devices. Good morning, Randy. All right, I'm trying to share this to my Facebook page, but it won't let me go there. Stupid Facebook. Yes, Michael, and Facebook is stupid in various ways. Did y'all see that they abandoned the cancer ads? Did you see that, Mike? They're banning, Facebook is banning breast cancer ads, because this is the one where the ladies were standing and the men with breast cancer too, and they had cakes in front of the nipple things and whatever, and Facebook banned it. They banned it. I don't try to make sense of it no more, Mike. I say, you know what? This is psychopath world. Nothing surprised me. Although I do get surprised every now and then. I try not to. Appreciate you trying to share. Appreciate you sharing and trying to share. Fix the value of the money in the Fed. Yes, brother Mark, in the Fed. And let's get to the root of in the Fed. In central banking. In central banking. Finally do what Jesus did in the money changers. They bring about the end of the world, and not in good ways. So in the central banks in every country, because those who print the money don't care who write the laws. They don't have to, because the people who write the laws will work for them. That's why they don't. The money, economics, all about economics. When everybody needs money to survive, whoever prints the money will rule the world, and they do. A couple hundred families, or 100 families, I think people say. All right, let's see. None of us would be here today without psychopaths. Now what? Exactly, Rebecca. Well, now what? Well, people always ask solutions. Well, to me, like I said, I hate sound like a broken record, but new people pop in all the time. One, learn how to love each other. Let go of your conflicts. Let go of all the trash and tribalism they pile on top of you, so we can have the numbers to solve things. Discover what love is. Two, you got to take control of your government. And that's not going to happen through voting. It's going to happen through not conflicting with the other political parties and coming into agreement over very simple, basic things. Child abuse is bad. Domestic abuse is bad. Beating women is bad. Beating the elderly is bad. And beating other nations is bad. An agreement that violence is no longer an acceptable solution for anything. And I think you need like a direct democracy or an RIC. The people have to have the ability to take down their government peacefully and start voting out the laws that require psychopathy, violent psychopathy, be a part of the model and system. And then I think things will start to get better from that. Because all you got to do is put yourself in each other's shoes. And when you start putting yourself in each other's shoes, all the problems are real easy to solve. But at that point, we got the numbers. Good morning, Sandy. So the psychopaths saved us, and if we didn't have them, we would have went extinct a long time ago. Somebody had to go fight the bear. Somebody had to go get the meat from the octopus. Somebody had to go get the meat from the woolly mammoth. And I can tell you this, Rebecca, that was not me. That was not that was not me. Somebody had to go take down the 14-foot woolly mammoth with tusks. And only psychopaths would do that. But we don't need those genes active in today's society. We can raise kids to be hippie, love each other kids. But we got to give them atmospheres that create that, not atmospheres that starve them into hate for each other. All right, let me get down so I can get out of here. After changing my kids' diapers, I can stomach anything. Yeah, brother Michael, and I stopped having kids because I was done with diapers. Oh, I was done. Now I just get the rogue occasional diaper, but that's it for me. No. But that's a good point. Like, cause think about it. Like from the psychopathy perspective, or just how the brain works. Like your first diaper is like, the first diaper. Second diaper, not so much. Third diaper, not so much. And that's how doctors do it. First accident, oh, I got problems with blood. Second accident, not so much. But in residency and training before they're doctors, they work with cadavers and stuff so they don't get skittish, and that's how the military does it. But we don't need psychopaths anymore. We need to make humans. I was watching a lecture not too long ago. They were explaining that psychopaths they've become the predator of the human race, right? They've become the predator because we always have a predator. Nature used to be out there trying to kill us. And once that was the case, the psychopaths that we use to kill nature, to defend us and feed us, now those psychopaths turn on us because that's all there is. There's no reason to defend. There's just us. All right, let me start to wrap this up so I can get out of here. I think, news-wise, there were a couple other interesting things. The last couple of comments, I'm gonna get out of here. That isn't real blood. No, Lori, that wasn't real blood at all. Good morning, Dennis. Rise up, protest today at Trenton for parental rights. Absolutely, Christine, always stand up for all human rights, not just parental rights, but all rights, period. Like, and that's another good example. I used to be in the children's rights movement, but if we stood up for everybody's rights, we'd win everything. Just stand up for people being left alone. Stand up for free will. When people have their freedom, they're nice creatures. When they don't have their freedom, not so much. When they don't have food and water, they don't have the basic. Human beings get real moody when they don't have that stuff. Okay, the day of red paint. DC, here we come. Jimmy, slow down. Somebody grab Jimmy. Somebody grab Jimmy. Y'all remember we were in school, you two kids about to fight, and you one getting upset, you grab your friend. Hang on, hold Jimmy, hold on, Jimmy. No, we can do those things, but you need to show up with numbers. Numbers. The news will walk right over. Show up with numbers. Brother Mike said he's still trying to share it and won't let him. All right, well, I appreciate you trying. Thank you for sharing, Christine. Thank you for trying, Mike, or Michael. Let me see. Every time I see these brave French tell the truth, my heart beats faster. I feel like crying with their courage, like a real patriot. Yeah, well, Jennifer, they love each other. They got that love going on. They're looking out for each other, and they finally realize that government constantly plays them, political party to political party, and Americans haven't figured that out yet. The political parties in France all work for the bourgeoisie, and the political parties in America all are part of the oligarchy. That rhymes. Somebody can make a rhyme out of that. Attack the oligarchy. Get rid of that, and then voting might actually matter. Until then, it's useless, and that's why the French across parties are all standing up. They get it. We don't get it yet. I'm watching people getting ready to vote for the 2020s now, so we can get our forced vaccinations. All right, let me see. Love manifests. Yes, it does, Lori. It manifests, and it goes viral, and it's infectious. Only love conquers hate. Only love will end violence, not just against women, against everyone. Everyone. End it at the concept. And you won't show up at a rally with 25 people. You'll show up there with 7 billion. Let me see. Brother David, what recorder are you using? I'm not sure what we're talking about. Recorder, Brother David. What is a recorder? Let me get down. Tell your doctor why you don't vaccinate. You know what, Yuli, I don't have a doctor. I don't have that problem. I stopped taking their drugs. I stopped listening to them. I started eating natural, healthy, vegetarian smoothies with tardigrades just full, and started murdering all them, eating it all raw. And I stopped getting sick. I stopped getting colds, viruses, flus, all that. Got rid of the doctor. Now I don't know where they live, don't know their name, don't know where they work. I haven't called them. So, but the last conversation we had wasn't about vaccines. It was about, what did the doctor get mad at me for? Oh, just for being a vegetarian. They were wondering, where you get your protein? While she was coughing. I was coughing on my son. She was sick. Where you get your protein from if you're vegetarian? What do y'all eat? And I'm like, you know, all protein comes from the sun, right? Like the sun literally. And the plants create the protein and the animals eat the plants. I just took the animal out the mix and eat the plant directly. And she got an attitude, and that was kind of it. While she was coughing and we were healthy. People can do what they want to do. But we evolved eating certain things. Go back to eating those things, you're gonna be very healthy. So I don't have a doctor. I don't even talk to them. Good morning, Nicole and Jasmine. I want to talk about Jeebus and Jeebus crust, perhaps. I don't even know what you're talking about, Brother Kelly. Our allies in oil war commodity exchanges. Stop playing the game. Stop playing the game. That's where I'm at, Jimmy. I'm done playing with psychopaths. I'm done. I don't have any popular psychopaths. I have nobody for anybody to vote for. I'm done. I'm done with violence. I'm done with domestic violence around the planet. I'm done with domestic. You're not going to end domestic violence in the home while you're deploying it around the world. You're not going to raise children that are peaceful if their government is always incredibly violent. Every single political party, every single president. I'm about ending it. I'm done with violence. I'm done with psychopathy. I don't have any favorite psychopaths. You shouldn't either. That's how I think. Good morning, Allison and Patricia. Rebecca signed back in. Let me get down to the last couple comments so I can get out of here. Let me see. Yeah, the rogue occasional diaper, Lori. I do, and I just rogue every now and then, Lori. But I got good to hold my breath, though. I'd hold my breath. I try to get a diaper. Feeding that baby. But that's what I was done. It's like, no, I was done with that. Those genes, you know what? I'm gonna lie for a minute, Lori. There's a gene in the warrior gene called the diaper gene. After you change so many diapers for survival ability, it turns off so you can't smell the doo-doo. I don't have that one active anymore. I don't have that one active, so I can't change diapers no more. I'm done with that. Let me see. Argue with them every time. Well, people like to argue, Lori. I'm not an arguer. I'm not even a debater. I don't really care what people think. Like, I have my own thoughts and I want to hear what they think so I can process my own thoughts and I can become smarter. But I don't want anybody to think like me. To me, arguing is a narcissistic, sociopathic activity. Why do you want to force someone to think like you? There's something wrong with you if you really need other people to think like you. They're other persons, they're other personas. They were raised in different places. They're another spiritual creature that is having a different experience. Why do I want to force my decisions from my experiences on someone else? I don't. I just want to share what I got. And what I got is there actually aren't any problems in the world. No world scale problems, no national scale problems. The only issue we have is money and greed. And that's easy to solve. Like, there are no unsolvable problems. Every problem have already been solved. All the problems, every last one of them have all been solved. Solved by professionals who we never end up in positions of power to fix anything because they make money by not solving problems. That's how you scare adults. That's how you get these big babies and you scare them into violence and being okay with activities and nuances that come from that psychopathy and living on a violent planet that we should have evolved out a long time ago. I eat eggs and sardines, very healthy. Well, Christine, health is what you say it is. If you're healthy, you should keep eating that. That's what I tell everybody. That's what healthy is. I don't tell nobody, be a vegetarian, be a vegan, come be like me. No, I say, hey, if you're not getting colds and flus and viruses and you're healthy, you get up in the morning and you're in shape, then hey, whatever you're eating is working out for you. Still waiting for spring in Wisconsin. I know, Mary, you're gonna have to wait a little longer. You live in one of them cold states. It's spring here now. I've been planting. I have no idea what I'm planting, Mary. I posted that picture. You know what? I just plant everything. I just take seeds and I find seeds because I always have thousands of seeds. Got like the seed drawer, all these seeds, they fall out the packages and everything. And I save seeds. Sometimes I'll just take, like, what was I growing last year? I was growing, it was an Indian gooseberries. I was just taking the gooseberries, just throwing them in the drawer to let the seeds dry out and come back this year. And I'm just looking in the drawer. I got all these seeds everywhere, rosettes. I recognize some of them, but I really don't care. I've been growing so long. When the plant comes up, I know what it is. So I don't barely label anything. I just put my tray. I just start putting seeds in trays and they start popping up. I'll know what they are when they come up. But so I looked at it. So somebody was saying, well, what's that in that tray? What's that in that tray? What's that in that tray? I posted a picture. I was like, you know what? The first tray is, I don't know. And second tray is, it's something delicious because it was in my pocket drawer or something. The other thing was something I bought online. I'm pretty sure that's going to be delicious and nutritious. The other thing I grow all the time. I have no idea what it is, but we'll find out later. We're just going to get in the garden. I believe in food forests. At halftime, I don't show y'all the picture of my garden because it's ugly. It's ugly, but I love your pictures. I love all y'all pictures. Y'all got the nice rows and it's clean and stuff. I believe in nature. I throw stuff out there, get it going, turn up the dust and get every growing. Uh-oh, that's my mama. Y'all, I gotta go. That's my mama calling. Anyway, listen. It's Mama's Day. I gotta call my mama back. Y'all have a great day. I love y'all to death. And let's evolve past violence, y'all. Stop supporting violent people. Stop supporting violent ideas. My mama done hung up. She probably mad right now. I'm about to call her. I'm going to call her in a minute. I'm going to stop. I'm going to call her. I'm about to call her right now when I'm done with this. I got it on my last statement because she created me. There go mama. Mama don't play, boy. She don't play. My mama, she don't watch the show, but she'll be like, hey, you gonna answer that phone. So I gotta go. My mama calling, I gotta go. I can't play. I don't have a last statement. My mama said I gotta go. Bye. I can't play with y'all. My mom, I'm gonna get in trouble. Bye.